everybody, this is SeetherCord and welcome to yet another installment of my SeetherTalks series here on YouTube! Sorry I had to make that a little too over-enthusiastic than I usually am. I'm sorry, I'm just pumped. Now before we get started for today, I want to give a quick shout out to the YouTube channel known as EXP Gamers. It is a YouTube channel that is run by two guys known as Rob and Andrew who play video games for you guys, and they upload daily. As well as the fact that they have over 1,400 videos for you guys to watch.
Mr. Squirrel Fucker in there. He's a little strange.
See, this is why you make the show great.
Rock Village! Fuck yeah! Rock Lee Village!
Here's a sobbing man for your trouble.
Are you bitch?
Ah! No! No, God, continue with your goddamn rant while I go fuck myself.
Ah! No, you don't! No, you don't! No, you don't! Fuck! God damn it!
You want to play again?
Now the reason why I'm giving them a shout out here is because they gave me a shout out on their channel about a week ago, and it's the best I could do for them, as well as the fact that I really also recommend their videos. They're very entertaining. They give off kind of a Game Grumps vibe with their videos. But yes, definitely check them out. A link in the description will be their channel. Please subscribe to them. They're awesome. Now that I got that out of the way for today, let's get right into today's video now, shall we? So for today's episode of SeetherTalks, we're going to be once again talking about the furry fandom because there's nothing else better for me to talk about on this channel. And that topic for today is pretty much discussing dating in the furry community. First, I want to clear out of the way here first that I have virtually no experience with dating other than like one or two relationships that only lasted a few weeks, and I am by myself and I'm completely fine with that, and know that I might not be as experienced in topping this topic, but I feel like I do have some insight that may help you, especially when it comes to the furry community. Now, I also want to clear out of the way beforehand that I am not someone that has that much experience with dating. I've had a few relationships that have lasted like a few weeks or so that didn't really work out. I'm not really that type of person for dating, and I am happily single. But I do feel that with the few relationships I have had, and also out of like, observation from outside, the scene, I feel like I have some input that might be of use to you guys in terms of talking about dating within the furry fandom. Now, if there is one thing I have noticed out of my 2+ years of being in the furry community is that furries are not that good when it comes to dating other furries. And I have learned through Skype that with these relationships within the furry community can spark a lot of drama, just like any other type of relationship you would experience through high school or through college or any real walk of life, be it furry or not. And from my best guess as to where I kind of see the people in the furry community having these relationships that do not work out that well, tends to be from these kids that are around 14 to 16 in the furry community that meet people online, be it through Skype or through Telegram or through Discord or whatever, and they end up dating these people that they have not even known for that long, and then after a while of dating, and then they start to realize that they're not really that compatible since they haven't even known each other for a freaking week. Then the relationship fails and it sparks a whole bunch of drama and it ends friendships and such. And it also comes from the fact that I feel like with all these failed relationships, it comes simply from the fact that they just simply do not know each other that much, or haven't really taken the time to really know the other person that well before they just start dating. I feel like the reason why is for this is because I won't deny a lot of us furries are geeks and dorks. I'm a dork and a geek. I'm cringeworthy, and a lot of other furries are like that. And I feel like when you're in school or you're at a very young age and you feel pressured and you feel like it's hard enough to get a relationship, you tend to take whatever you feel like gives you the best opportunity and you just snatch it when you can, not knowing what you're going to get yourself into, and it causes a lot of trouble and it causes a lot of heartbreak and emotional problems, and just it overall affects your self-confidence and the way you interact with people. And it's sad to see that, but I do notice that this happens a lot, especially on, these social media platforms that all the furries communicate through, be it even the freaking Furry Amino app. I see this a lot. So when it comes to what I would advise personally for these people, or for anyone who's really dating in the furry community, I have a few kind of tips and tricks, as well as some kind of life advice I can give from someone who virtually has not had that much experience dating myself. The first thing I want to note to you guys is that you do not have to limit yourself to dating people just in the furry community. I know that you might feel like that way, like, oh, no one's going to want to accept me for how weird I am outside of this community. Well, know that you're wrong. There actually legit is people that will be willing to love and accept you, be it a furry or not. So you don't really have to limit yourself to dating in the fandom, because of the fact that if you do that, you're virtually going to cut yourself off from pretty much the rest of the people on the planet. And also when it comes to dating people online, I know that a lot of people have, their mixed thoughts about what it is like to date people online. Some people agree with it, some people disagree with it. Some people say that, you don't really know someone unless you've seen them IRL, and that, when you're dating someone online, you don't actually see the full type of person they are. And then you end up getting into a lot of trouble when you end up investing so much time into a relationship with someone you know online, and then you finally meet them and you're like, wow, this person is exactly not what I expected them to be at all.
So you'll be talking to someone online and you'll be thinking that you're talking to these two fucking gorgeous things, when in reality that's not the case, right? Because you're actually talking to these two assholes. Dickhead, you got my hopes up, you bastard.
But for me, even though I haven't dated anyone online really, I will say that I'm not necessarily completely not for dating online. It's just, I would advise to be very careful with it. And before you start dating someone online, know that this person that you want to do it with, make sure that you know the complete side of them. Make sure you've known them for like a couple of months or for a couple of years. You've seen them at pretty much all the types of points that they can be it they're really happy, they're really sad, when you're really mad at them, when you're really happy with them, etc., etc. But it's okay. I understand the fact of how it can be frustrating with, not knowing where to fit in or who you can find for a relationship with, especially in the furry community where a lot of us have troubles with that, because a lot of us tend to have a lot of problems when it comes to keeping relationships, as you can see with a lot of people in the furry community, struggling to keep them afloat. But on the brighter note, I have seen a lot of relationships that have made it like a couple plus years, or even to like a point in marriage in the furry community between different furries, or people who've dated people that aren't furries that are furries themselves, and they lasted pretty well. So even though it might be more of a struggle in the furry community, or for most furries on average, it's not impossible. Just also be aware of the fact that you don't need a relationship to be happy. It's not something you need in your life to feel fulfilled. Hell, I see people in my lives that have been married or have been dating people for years and they don't feel happy at all. They don't feel like it's that important to them. And I'm personally grateful for the fact that I'm able to, be happy with myself without needing someone in a relationship to make me happy. I can just depend on my interests and being able to do them, and as well as enjoy myself being by myself. And hell, there's a lot of benefits to not being in a relationship. It saves money, it saves you heartbreak, and it saves you from drama. But if you do end up running into somebody that shares a lot of interests with you and you're already happy with yourself and they appreciate you and you appreciate them, then go for it.
Follow your heart. Follow your heart. Follow your heart.
Just be aware at the end of the day that it's not that important, and it's not something that you need to be happy. And I know for at the point that people that do feel that right now that are very young, trust me, and like later on in life, even if you had like a serious relationship, you're gonna learn it wasn't really important in the first place. Hell, my grandmother before she died had 3 failed marriages, and she died like the happiest person ever because she was able to at least enjoy life doing stuff that wasn't required with just a relationship. She could do it by herself. So that pretty much wraps up this episode of SeetherTalks for today. I know that I was going to make this mostly furry centered for this episode for today, but I also kind of made it in a way as well, being it can apply to virtually anyone, but still it kind of focused on the furry community a bit as well, so I kind of kept my promise there. And that's pretty much all that I have left to say for today. Once again, shout out to EXP Gamers. Go down and subscribe to them and watch their videos daily because they're hilarious and awesome. As well as if you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting that like button right there, as well as consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already to further help me out. And thank you all so much again for watching this video. I've been SeetherCord, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, everyone.